Hello again, great mathematicians. How are you tonight? Well, welcome to another episode of, you guessed it, Math with Miss Smelian. Woo! Get excited here, people. We're going to have a lot of math fun. All right, so you are in your quiet place. You have your routine down with math. So let's get started. Make sure you've got that paper and pencil ready. And if you don't catch some numbers or something doesn't make sense, go ahead and rewind. All right. So, I know, shocker, we are still working on fractions and decimals, but I really think that you are starting to get the hang of it. So today we're going to really talk about ordering decimals. And I put a little example at the bottom of your screen of some decimals that are in order, which is always one of the easiest things to see. We're actually going to try doing some harder stuff today, which is seeing some decimals in different ways and still trying to put them in order. So, I put this on here to kind of help us think of a number line. Now, if you look at the large markers on this number line, you'll notice they're in which place value? That's right, the tenths place. And then if you look at these ones kind of in between on the way to 1/10, what are those? What place value? You got it, hundredths. So we're going to be looking to see, can we put them in order? Can we find something? I think it'd be really helpful for us to be able to see, when a number comes even in between on a number line, like halfway, what would that be? Well, I would look at the first number and look at past it, and I would say, well, it's at least a 0.04 or 4 hundredths, but it's halfway, so I need half of a thousandth. So it's at 0.045 is right here. So I think that's important too, that you can not only find things on a number line, but add things to a number line. So keep that in mind as we practice. All right, let's just get right down to business. We're going to jump right into the second problem here, B, and we're going to try to find some of these place values. So let's see here. Let's express them all as decimals. So this one right here, I'm going to express that as a decimal. 1.3 is 3/10, ending in the tenths place. So I'm going to try to find 1, here's 1, and go 0.3 past it. And I see it, it's A. Then let's see if we can find where 0.3 is, or 3/10. Well, it's not quite past a whole yet, so let's see here. I'd say C is right there. Then let's look for, where is 3 exactly? 3 and 0/10. Well, I see that one is right here. And the last one, I'm going to write that as a decimal. 3.2 would be D. So there's a little bit of a review for us and finding some decimals on a number line. Now let's start putting them in order. Now you'll notice all of these numbers do not have anything in the ones place. And we do this just like we do whole numbers. So I like to give the example, if I give you the number 1,216 versus the number 1,311, let's say, which one is larger? And how do you know that? Well, we start in the largest place value, and then we read left to right. So I see that both of them have 1,000, or 1,000, excuse me. So then I would go to the hundreds place and look and see, oh, this guy has 300 versus 200. So it's got more, so I would clearly say that that one has more. Well, it's the same thing with decimals. We read left to right. And so if we start by looking at all of these 4 numbers, and let me change my pen color here because it's so much more fun when it's in another color. Let's see. Oh, I haven't done that in a while. Okay. I can see that none of them have a 1. Or have anything in the ones place. So then I'm going to go to the next place value over. It happens to be behind the decimal point, the tenths place. And I'm going to look and see. I see lots of 3s, but one of them has a 2. So right away, I can tell that 0.23 is the smallest. Then I'm going to, now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go to the hundredths place and look at all of these. I see a 1, a 3, oh, I already used you, and a 1. Well, I see two of them that have ones and one that has three. So I'm going to examine these two that have ones in the hundredths place value. Now, when I look at this first number, it's 0.315, and this one is 0.31, but there's nothing here. There are no thousandths. So that tells me that this guy, 0.31, would come next. Used him. Oopsies. Sorry about that. And then I would say, well, then this one must come next, 0.315. And the last one has to be 0.33. So remember, as you go through the decimals, the smaller they get. So the tenths, the hundredths are really tiny, the thousandths are even tinier. And then we can put them in order. So let's try a few more. This time I did include some whole numbers. So right away, let's look at the whole numbers, the ones place. I see a 7, a 5, a 5, and a 5. Well, right away I see my largest number is 7.4. So I'm going to put that at the end, 7.4. And I'm going to cross it out because I've used it. Now I'm going to go to the tenths place. I see a 3, and a 0. Well, the 0, no tenths, so I'm going to put that first, 5.03. Used it, crossing it out. Alright, now I'm going to go to the hundredths place. I see a 2 and I see nothing. So I can put a 0 there, there's nothing there. So 5.30 or 5.32? I see that 5.30 is smaller because 5.32 has 2 more hundredths. And I'm done. I've put it in order. How fun is that? Let's try this next one. You'll notice in the whole numbers, we have 18 all the time. So I now have to go to the tenths place. I see a 2, a 0, a 2, and a 1. Well, right away I saw a 0, so I'm going to put that one first, 18.02. Cross out. Then I saw 1 in the tenths place, so I'm going to put 18.12. Oopsies. Get rid of that. And now I have 2 of them with 2 in the tenths place, so I'm going to put, let's see, a 0 here. There are no hundredths. So I have 18.20 or 18.29. And I can clearly see who has less and who has more. Alright, I hope you've got the hang of this, reading from left to right. Now you give it a try. Here's some numbers. Please copy these down the way they are. And then go ahead and show some work. Make sure you're underlining place values. It really helps me to do that, to keep my numbers organized as you're trying to figure out which one is smaller and which one is larger. So your goal is to put these in order from smallest to greatest. So we've got 6.812. Then we have the number 6.8. Then we have the number 6.72. And finally we have the number 4.87. Good luck, boys and girls. I can't wait to see how you do, and we will continue working on decimals tomorrow in class, so come ready with any questions or other problems you want to try. All right, have a good night, you guys. Bye-bye.